One Zambia, One Nation, thank you so much for joining us on the news desk with me, Amos Zulu. Let us take a look at the top stories. Munali Member of Parliament inspects rehabilitation of feeder roads. Kamfinsa Correctional Facility to Gate Chapel. Farmers appeal for an increase in soybean floor price. Plus, 11 illegal immigrants arrested in Kapirimposh. And now the news in detail. Munali Member of Parliament Mike Imposha has inspected the rehabilitation of feeder roads in his constituency. The Zambia National Service are the contractors engaged to work on the 6.3 million kwacha project. James Malumba accompanied Mr. Mposha and filed in this report.
A number of roads in Munali constituency of Lusaka province have seen a facelift using the 2022 Constituency Development Fund CDF. The roads, which have been done at a cost of 6.3 million kwacha, includes among others Kamanga Irish Road, Niza Road, JK and Kalikiliki Market Roads. Zambia National Service ZNS are the contractors engaged to work on these roads.
So far the work's done. We have done about 72% of works. And now this is the Niza Road that we have just done. We're just waiting to do the culverts. Sure.
Munali Member of Parliament Mike Mposha, who was in his constituency inspecting different developmental projects, is impressed with the quality of works.
Here where we are, between Mtendere Main and Mtendere East, we picked on some very critical roads. If you came here a year ago or 2 years ago, this road was almost impassable. So we picked a road called Niza Road. This is very critical for the people of this area because it connects PHI through Mtendere and Mtendere East to Ibex. So we picked this road, and in between we are going to show you another road called JK Road, which connects Salama Park via Mtendere East to come into Mtendere.
He has dispelled rumors that roads being rehabilitated are not durable.
We done the road formation here, compacted, put laterite in certain spots, and put crushed stones so that we assure our people of the durability of these roads. Now I know that the critics, those who thought that this government will not deliver, were saying that we are just bringing mud into this community, there's nothing that is going to happen.
Residents are happy with the improved roads in their area. Jane Simalumba Zanis in Lusaka.
Province Minister Credo Nanjua has assured Lusemfwa Hydropower Station, Lusemfwa Power Company Limited, that government will help in resolving human activities. Speaking through his Deputy Permanent Secretary, Godfrey Tambala, he said human activities around the company are a threat to its sustenance.
Lusemfwa Hydropower Company Limited is the successor company to Mulungushi Power Station and one of the oldest, if not the oldest, power generating company in the country. However, the company management is concerned about the human activities that have potential to slow down the company's operations.
Where you get the water, you use it for generation, it goes back to the river. So the normal flow of the river is maintained as it was originally, and life downstream continues and upstream. Now, the manganese treatment activities that are happening is that when they take the water to wash those minerals, because they are using chemicals, they cannot take the water back into the river. So they are abstracting the water and taking it elsewhere, and that then is reducing the flows. So there are a lot of these applications that are coming. We've been rejecting a lot of them through WAMA, but what we are seeing is that despite the rejections, these activities are continuing. Yes, so of course we cannot stop industrialization, but what we are saying is that let them do it in a clean way.
Our appeal again will be that there is need to control all these upstream activities to ensure that we continue harvesting as much water as possible to contribute to to the energy demand in the country. In a good season, and of course all things being equal, we are supposed to have our reservoir field, but that has not been attained this year, and I mean this season, and even last season I think we didn't attain that. But our hope is that with all these activities being controlled, and of course working in harmony with local authorities, we should be able to manage our catchments in a much more sustainable way to sustain continued generation for the company.
And Central Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Godfrey Tambala has promised that government will come to the protection of the power generating company.
So as government, these are the issues that we're actually trying to look into with a critical eye, because we feel that the maintenance of this infrastructure and also coming on the board to ensure that those people that are basically messing around with the catchment areas of these probably two rivers that where we're actually harvesting this electricity, we can mitigate the pressure. We can help the company here to see how we can reduce deforestation.
Zanis supports in Wano District, Central Province.
Minister of Labor and Social Security Brenda Tambatamba has commended the Japanese Tobacco International JTI for being one of the shining examples in adhering to social security matters in the country. She said this when she visited the tobacco company in Chipata to appreciate the challenges the company was facing. Sande Bwalia has the rest of the story.
Minister of Labor and Social Security Brenda Tambatamba has commended the Japanese Tobacco International, JTI, for being one of the shining examples in adhering to social security matters in the country. She said this when she visited the tobacco company in Chipata to appreciate the challenges the company was facing.
And in this moment, we can almost guess that there's productivity around here because of the way human resource, that pillar in the 8th National Development Plan, is being managed, is being operationalized on the ground. Clearly, we have an enterprise here, a business entity that has risen to the levels where that they are at a level that we call in organizational development a developed, a mature entity that is basically focusing now on refining its success. That is focusing on sustaining that success so that it's able to sustain the jobs. This is a place where you can find possibility, high possibility of sustainable jobs, seeing what we've seen from morning. So we say congratulations to JTA as well, other than to the provincial administration, that this place becomes a place which could be a learning center for others that are in the other stages of development.
And Japanese Tobacco International Site Operations Manager Ezekiel Mutonga shared his views about the company.
We are a tobacco company and they are dealing with the rural community of Chipata, Lumezi, Kaserengo, Chipangali mainly. And purely we grow tobacco through outgrower scheme. So far we have 2,500 growers who have benefited from JTI. And as you saw in the buying floor there, a lot of growers are there. We always believe in creating partnership with our stakeholders, and the major stakeholders here are farmers themselves. As you have seen, farmers are happy. The pricing you checked, and even the way the tobacco is being bought, and farmers are very happy. I think you heard also from the PS's office and also Minister of Labor, there have been no issues, and also the councillor for this area also indicated that this year's marketing season, no complaint has ever reached his office as a councillor, and that shows you that we are doing a clean, sustainable and honest business.
Meanwhile, Labour Commissioner Givens Muntengwa fined Parrogate Company 25,000 kwacha for flouting human resource matters at the firm.
Parrogate Highland Cotton Company an administrative penalty of 25,000 kwacha because they contravened sections 18 and 22 of the Employment Code Act.
For Zanis in Chipata, I am Sande Bwalia.
Chief Jongo of Monze District has commended Mendelu, a non-governmental organization from Czech Republic, for constructing a dam in his area. Chief Jongo observed that the NGO has uplifted the welfare of the people since it stepped into the district. The traditional leader was speaking when Southern Province Permanent Secretary Namani Monze toured some of the projects being implemented by Mendelu in Monze District.
Government and the traditional leadership in Southern Province have acknowledged and appreciated the support a non-government organization from Czech Republic is providing, aimed at improving people's living standards in the area. Mendelu University is a Czech Republican organization that is running a project in Choma and Monze districts of Southern Province. The project activities are being implemented by Czech Development Corporation and include putting up dams for animals drinking water, as well as planting trees to restore soil fertility, among other things. Southern Province Permanent Secretary Namani Monze and Chief Chongo of Monze, whose chiefdom has benefited from this support, took time to visit some of the project sites in order to have a hands-on assessment on the impact of the project.
I would like to thank Mendelu University for considering Chief Chongo's chiefdom as one of his pilot projects. They have been here, I think, since 2020. And as we have seen when we have been moving, there's a lot of improvement in the community that they have targeted. This Hamilimo village in Luyaba, Chief Chongo's area. People have attested to the fact that before the Mendelu people came, they had problems in the amounts of the liters of milk they could get from the animals, and also the tons from their fields.
Yeah, so Mendelu is complementing government very well. The activities that they are involved in are in the main sector of economic growth within the province, and it's our hope that these technologies and the knowledge that they are impacting in our people, we can ride on them and ensure that we increase productivity and production of both milk and the cereal crops. And therefore we hope going forward we'll be planning together to ensure that these efforts are complemented for good outcomes.
On their part, the project implementers are happy with the support government has rendered in allowing them to operate in a conducive environment.
Extremely happy, and we are very much honored that we were accompanied by a representative of government, by PS himself, by DC, by councillors, by traditional leadership. Chief Chongo went with us. All of that really showed the importance of the activities and of the results that we are having in the communities.
Lemeli Kando, reporting for Zanis in Southern Province.
Copperbelt Province Minister Elisha Matambo has set the ground for the construction of a chapel at Kamfisa Correctional Facility in Kitwe. Mr. Matambo, through Kitwe District Commissioner, reaffirmed that government will not deny any inmate access to religious services. Take a look.
Religion has proven to be a critical instrument in instilling good values in human beings. In recognition of this, government, in conjunction with a church in Kitwe, has embarked on a project to construct a chapel where inmates at Kamfisa Correctional Facility will be meeting for church service. Kitwe District Commissioner Lawrence Mwanza graced the groundbreaking ceremony for the project.
The region is the backbone of any strong institution and has been stressed as a priority for the New Dawn government in servicing its people. The Republican President, His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, in his speech at the 2022 National Day of Prayer, Fasting, Repentance and Reconciliation, emphasized how, as a government, we will continue to work with the church to steer our nation in the right direction in its obligation to unite the country. In this light, no inmate should be unable to access the religious services, and I am delighted that the Zambia Correctional Service, in particular Copperbelt Command, has taken a key interest in ensuring that an inmate population are provided with the opportunity to access said religious services.
And Kitwe Pastors Fellowship Chairperson Bishop Radile Wheeler notes that the church will create a platform for regular interaction between the church and the inmates.
This is a very clear demonstration we are doing today as a church to fulfill Matthew 25 and verse 36. Both of our institutions, that is the Zambia Correctional Service and the church here in Kitwe, is seriously fulfilling that demand on our shoulders. This will therefore provide a platform where counseling, spiritual counseling services will be given, and also provide an interaction between our inmates that may be going through challenges and the church.
And Kafisa Correctional Facility Officer in Charge Ivo Msomali is happy with the development.
Today is a special day as it marks the commencement of a project that will greatly benefit our inmates and assist the facility in achieving its goal of rehabilitation and reformation. Guests of honor, sir, ladies and gentlemen, we strongly believe that in achieving our mandate as a correctional center, a holistic approach encompassing all aspects, including spiritual needs, is key.
The Council of Churches in Zambia representative dedicated the project.
Any demonic presence, any satanic presence, anything that may want to oppose the gospel, I break it in the name of Jesus. Amen. Whatever claim that may be in this place, those who may have a claim and have put an identity on it, an identity that fights God, an identity that fights the...
Liz Ngobeka reporting for Zanis in Kitwe.
Meanwhile, Nelly Bota reports that President Hakainde Hichilema has donated 68 benches and 6 prayer kneelers at Holy Cross Catholic Church in Kabushi constituency in Dola District. Provincial Minister Elisha Matambo, who handed over the furniture on behalf of the president, said the donation has been made following a pledge that the head of state made when he visited the church in September last year.
Republican President Hakainde Hichilema has donated 68 benches and 6 prayer kneelers to Holy Cross Catholic Church in Kabushi constituency in Dola District. This follows the pledge the head of state made when he visited the parish in September 2022. Copperbelt Province Minister Elisha Matambo handed over the items to the parish.
Lelo panotuli twachisa femu stand over on behalf of His Excellency ama bench yali over Ishlela. It's a privilege to hand over the 68 benches apapa special 35 ngabapwisha yami factory natulanda na ba father. I think they will pick them yonse yafuiro kuba 68 na manilas mitata manilas I had 4.
The parish priest and the civic leaders are happy with the gesture.
I am humbled and delighted to see that the promise of His Excellency has come to fruition. Indeed, today I am alive to the fact that the President has many needy areas to attend to, and I do not want to take this gesture for granted.
Kateka twalibebe lyokwebati abena kabushi ichileba shupa menshi. Abena kabushi ukunyantira amasaka mu toilet yakwimba banaka. Bakateka abomfwa na bampere ndalama shakubikira menshi mu kabushi.
Later, Mr. Matambo attended an induction service of Pastor Paston Muluba at Masala Baptist Church. Nelly Bota reporting for Zanis in Dole.
Mushindamo District Commissioner Andrew Kalangwa has assured farmers in the Mushindamo District that they will receive their 2023-2024 farming inputs on time. Mr. Kalangwa apologized for the delay in delivering farming inputs in last season, but assured that government has noted some challenges with the system that was used, which led to the delay in accessing inputs by the farmers. Mr. Kalangwa assured the farmers that government will soon commence the distribution of farming inputs for this coming season on time in order to allow farmers prepare their fields. He further disclosed that government has increased the number of beneficiaries under the Farmer Input Support Program from 2,906 to 3,800 farmers for the district. And one of the stories making headlines in our news, some residents of Mambwe district are appealing to government to consider putting the price of soybeans at 10 kwacha or 11 kwacha per kilogram. The farmers who shared their views during an interfaith dialogue meeting organized by Civil Society for Poverty Reduction appealed that government should buy soybeans from them to avoid being exploited by briefcase buyers. Peter Mtonga, a resident of Mambwe, says a lot of people planted soybeans and want government to buy from them at a reasonable price.
To track the performance of government departments in relation to service delivery to the public, the Civil Society for Poverty Reduction has been conducting dialogue meetings between government departments and community members. These meetings have provided a platform for community members to make their appeals and submissions to office bearers.
Since we want to receive Barimako soybeans, we ask government to batigule soybeans ndipo batigule kwa mtengo wa bwino, so that people will be able to buy food, meal, and some they may buy fertilizer for the coming season. Government should hear this, that people are complaining that they are asking kuti abagule kwa mtengo wa bwino at 10, 11 quarter there, it will help the people of Zambia.
Shortage of medicine in my hospitals. That's boma tipempa kuti vachipire konzeru ndakambiri ngataenda navana odwala vamakamba no mankhwala kuibe sometimes pia chabwa kupasa panado vakulembeana pakapepa tuende ugule kwa drugstore andisi wonse vantu vati vakwanisa kupeza ndrama kuti vaende vagule mankhwala, so tipempa boma kuti apo vaanganepo ndativutika.
The importance of these dialogue meetings was explained by CSPR Eastern Province Coordinator Justin Mwila.
So this project, that's what it seeks to achieve. It seeks to bring the service providers but also the community members together so that we can both agree on the way forward in terms of improvement of service provision in the district. And from what we've seen today, I think it's a step in the right direction because commitments have been made by different stakeholders that were present with regards to what interventions they are going to put in place to ensure that the service provision is improved in the district.
Interventions like these ones are important as they promote democracy and good governance. Theo Makunda, reporting for Zanis in Mambwe District, Eastern Province.
In other news, Plan International Zambia has constructed an ablution block at Tukatane Primary and Secondary School in Chongwe District to help improve sanitation levels at the institution. Plan International Water Sanitation and Hygiene Coordinator Stafford Chelo says the ablution block has been constructed under the WASH SDG project, which is also being implemented at 2 schools in Chongwe and 1 in Kafiwe District. Mr. Chelo explained that the project is also targeting to improve the sanitation in the surrounding communities, the schools where the project is being implemented. He disclosed that the ablution block has an all-inclusive waterborne facility that has been fitted with easy access for children with disabilities, as well as showers that will improve the menstrual hygiene among learners. And pupils at Tukatane Primary and Secondary School have commended Plan International Zambia for constructing an ablution block with waterborne toilets. The pupils who have in the past been using pit latrines told Zanis that the facility has helped to improve hygiene and sanitation levels at the school. Monokayumbwa Muleta, a grade 7 pupil at the school, says pupils used to line up in queues to access the only pit latrine that was available at the school. Still in the news, the Healthcare Christian Fellowship has encouraged health practitioners at Mansa General Hospital to continue having a good attitude toward patients. Healthcare Christian Fellowship National Coordinator Gertrude Chuma stressed the importance of a good attitude by health workers after conducting free ear screening to the public at the hospital.
health treatment has mostly been aligned to the actual intake of medicines for healing. However, there is more to treatment that is important for patients to heal. A good attitude to patients by healthcare providers is one of them. This, among others, is what the Healthcare Christian Fellowship want to be inculcated in health practitioners. To ensure this is realized, the Healthcare Christian Fellowship is in Mansa District to, among other things, check on the working conditions in health facilities, to donate to the needy, and conduct ear checkups.
We are very, very excited about this because of the impact that Healthcare Christian Fellowship has on the healthcare providers, on their attitude to work. We all know that there's a very big problem with attitude among healthcare providers, and Healthcare Christian Fellowship comes as a solution to the problem and the big challenge that we have had, because we do provide trainings. We are taught how to, healthcare providers need to work with their senior colleagues, and the senior colleagues, and how they should work with the junior colleagues. So it creates an environment where a patient can come in and find a peaceful environment. We all know that psychologically a patient requires that sort of environment for them to receive healing.
An ear technician has cautioned against habits that destroy the ears.
We notice people with the past discharge. The first 2 days, the ear may be painful, but later on, if the ear drum perforates, pus is coming out, the pain will reduce. Then other people will stop going to the hospital, or they will just ignore going to the hospital. It is not right. Anyone with any problem, go to the hospital to avoid the problem becoming much, much complicated. Also, we notice the young generations, they are fond of using earphones. They are not bad. There is a tendency of increasing the volume. So as you continue increasing the volume, the hearing capacity will reduce.
Teddy Marungo reporting for Zanis News in Mansa District in Wapula Province.
Now, police in Central Province have apprehended 11 prohibited immigrants who were hiding in a house in Kapirimposhi District. Provincial Permanent Secretary Myuna Mwanakampwe says the 11, all of Ethiopian nationality, were apprehended in an operation following a tip from the public that led to the arrest of 27 prohibited immigrants last week in Chisamba District. Mr. Mwanakampwe said police were led to the house belonging to Kenan Chishila, 26, by a suspect only identified as Nsama. He stated the 11 immigrants who were destined for South Africa entered the country through Nakonde border in a container that was carrying cooking oil. The PS disclosed that Chishila, who is reported to have been harboring the immigrants, named the main agent as a Mr. Piri of Lusaka.
A couple of weeks ago, police in Central Province, Chisamba District to be precise, did arrest actually about 27 illegal immigrants, and one male suspect, Mr. Nsama, today led police officers again to a house in Kapirimposhi where 11 illegal immigrants were being harbored. And I wish to confirm that the house is belonging to a male, Mr. Kigan Chishila, of one house number that is unmarked in Kapiri. And the following illegal immigrants have been picked. A male aged 28, a Mr. Lefamo, a Mr. Gima, a Mr. Masekuru, a Mr. Nangeso Damachu, Mr. Daniel, age 25, a Mr. Wade, and also a Mr. Chakevo. Now, all these 11 illegal immigrants are of Ethiopian origin. You may wish to know that we have made a vow that we will not allow this province to be used as a conduit of illegalities. And as such, we commend our men and women in uniform, our colleagues from the police service for the job well done, but also members of the public who are tipping the police when they see illegalities. Remember that police do not work alone, they work with members of the public to again encourage the members of the public not to watch illegalities being fomented and orchestrated by people who want to perpetuate such kind of illegalities. So whenever they see such, they must immediately report to law enforcers.
Here's a reminder of the top stories. Munali Member of Parliament inspects rehabilitation of feeder roads. Kamfinsa Correctional Facility to get a chapel. Farmers appeal for an increase in soybeans floor price. And lastly, 11 illegal immigrants arrested in Kapirimposhi. We end the news just there. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.